When I moved to Chicago, I was taking pictures of boxers in Chicago, youth boxers in particular, because I didn't know anything about the city. I didn't know anything about the neighborhoods, and I just wanted to kind of get around the city. I knew that there were lots of boxing rings around Chicago. I have a background in social justice issues, and I have my undergrad degree was in sociology. And I did a lot of volunteer work after college as a community organizer and was working in nonprofit organizations. I was interested in like working class issues and kind of new immigrant issues and issues of like poverty and race and community. And I've kind of had this naive, romantic notion that boxing is tied to those issues. I think that was the thing that brought me to boxing. When I got to the boxing rings, I just found out so much more about boxing rings and the community that they formed, as well as the people who were showing up at these rings. And they had lived in public housing. The more I went back to the boxing rings, the more I got to know the members of the community, and I always went back with a group of photos to share with them, just to kind of keep the relationship going. When I found out about how many of them lived in public housing, I found out how many people were being displaced because of the Chicago Housing Authority's plan for transformation, which is like the process of demolishing a lot of the public housing high-rises and replacing them with mixed-income townhouses. So pretty much they're trying to revitalize kind of these isolated areas of poverty. I understand why they're doing it, but it seems like there's a big disconnect between how they're doing it. I think they're just tearing them down too fast and displacing communities. A lot of the blame that gets placed on the demise of the housing gets placed on the residents. And I think there's a lot of blame to spread around. Everyone has bad landlords, and the housing authority wasn't the best landlord for them. Broken elevators all the time, lack of public safety, just lack of response to the residents' needs. I think with a population as vulnerable as like the working poor, like they need even more support than a normal renter would. The rush to get rid of the buildings really gets in the way of what happens to these communities. That's kind of my idea behind the photos, that it's beyond just bricks and mortar. It feels like a very cosmetic thing just to get rid of the buildings, and people are like really thankful that they don't have these kind of eyesores, but people live in them. I hope that viewers will find some sort of common ground with the people in the photos or with the objects in the photos. Ultimately, it's really about home.